Hi, it's Swapnil Bhartiya, and we are here at Cisco Live. And today we have with us Diogo Almeida, Head of IT Infrastructure at AIDA Cruises. First of all, Diogo, it's great to have you on the show.
No, thank you very much, and thank you for having me here with you.
It's my pleasure. First of all, of course, we are here at the event. I also learned that your flight got delayed, so you're a bit exhausted. You may not have seen the show floor, but if you see from here, it looks like a very exciting event. Talk a bit about your presence at this event.
I don't know, I came the last 15 years to Cisco Live in EMEA and US. I thought that was a little bit less crowded today, but I arrived around 8 in the morning. So on that time was less crowded, but now I see a lot of people around. I will take also the time today and tomorrow to go around, visit some friends, some partners, and to wander a little bit around.
Perfect, awesome. And most of us, we love cruises. It's more like mini city floating in the ocean, middle of ocean. But you have to maintain all that infrastructure, all the networking, all the connectivity. So can you talk about from the IT infrastructure perspective, for those who may not know, what are some of the, I'm not talking about general IT, but some of the, especially in this era where AI is, of course, big, security is getting big, what are some of the technologies that you are working on with Cisco?
I can present very shortly AIDA. So AIDA Cruises is the German brand of the Carnival cruise line. We transport around 1.5 million guests per year. And what we want to give to those guests are unforgettable moments that they enjoy their holidays. For that, there is a full backbone of IT, network, server infrastructure and connectivity that make the ship operate. Like you said, they are 11 cities, moving cities, and we have on our ships, exactly as maybe your city or a smaller town, hospital, laundry, coffee, shops, supermarket, theater, shore excursions, bicycles. So everything is there. And the network and the server infrastructure that I manage make all of this connect together and work. It's not an easy environment to maintain. We know that IT infrastructure, and with all the new technologies, AI, and all the need of cybersecurity, is already hard to maintain. But now you need to imagine it in a floating city that can be in the other side of the world with very small connectivity bandwidth. So we don't have the same internet connection that we have at home. We have a very, very small bandwidth to access the ships. For that, our infrastructure needs to have a very high resilience to ensure that we don't have incidents when the ship is crossing, let's say, the Atlantic. It goes 7 days crossing the Atlantic, and there is no way for someone to go on the ship. So before departing or when it arrives to the other side of the ocean. So we need to ensure that all of our devices, our configurations, and whatever tools we use are always ready to work without failure. What we use on the ships, and AIDA has a strong partnership with Cisco. So all of our network, core, distribution, the access points, everything is Cisco. So we have all the network backbone on Cisco. We are upgrading our server computing infrastructure also to Cisco UCS. And besides that, we leverage the Cisco IQ, Thousand Eyes, Catalyst Center, Cisco Spaces, Open Roaming. We were the first brand implementing open roaming on the cruise industry. And it is this that we have. How this help us? Open roaming, as an example. You go to a new place, you go to a cruise ship, you needed to open your phone, go on settings, select the wireless LAN, select the name, the SSID, and connect. And now with our AIDA app, doesn't matter if you go to one of our shoreside offices or to any of our ships. If you have the AIDA app, you just get close to the ship, and even in the terminal where you are doing the check-in, you are already connected to the internet. So all these new technologies that we are implementing are enhancing the satisfaction of our guests.
Now, there is one difference, I think, and I may be totally wrong, but I'm not in the cruise industry. Just like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Like just like airplanes, you have to keep flying, so the ships, they don't just dock for, you cannot do a lot of testing, everything when the ship is in the ocean, the cruise. So I think you folks have also been some AIDA Cube, something like that.
Yep.
So at kind of twin replicator. So talk a bit about, because you have to, when you deploy new technology, you cannot just, and you're just staying in the production. So talk about that aspect.
So, our ships operate 24/7 and 365 days per year, non-stop. It's always risky to upgrade a device or deploy a new technology or a new configuration with the ship operating. If something goes wrong or we hit a bug or some technology challenge or difficulty, we are immediately interfering in the guest and crew satisfaction. For that, 2.5 years ago, we created a lab in our headquarters in Rostock. It's a complete copy of a ship. So in terms of data center, we have exactly 2 data centers as we operate on the ships, 1 distribution room, same type of devices, same version, same quantity. What we don't have is 5,000 access points, but probably we have 20 or 30. And we use that lab to test new technologies, to make a pre-deployment before taking to the ships, and also to upgrade the existing environments. We partner very close with Cisco. Cisco already used our lab for technologies that were not even yet announced to the public. So we help them with some technologies, and we are still working on that. I just came from a meeting that I cannot say what it was, but we decided that presenting that new technology, we will work together on Cube to test it and help to improve it.
Now, there is one more thing, is that you folks have, like, of course, a lot of infotainment systems that customers use, but then you have your own, which are mission critical also, safety, security, safety of the ship, fire monitoring, evacuation. So those systems should not collide or collapse with each other. Customer systems should not overwhelm those systems. So how do you also, if you can, whatever you can share, what kind of systems are there and what role is, because customer facing are low prior, they are priority, but a customer watching a movie is not as important as the safety of the ship. So talk about that aspect.
So for us, the safety systems, of course, they are the most relevant part of our journey with the ship, but also our guest satisfaction. So we treat a security system with the same priority as a guest system. For that, we have network segmentation to ensure that the priorities are distributed equally for our guest and crew satisfaction and for our security. I can give some examples of how the security interacts with IT and our Cisco environment. We have a simple system. If there is a medical or a fire emergency on the ship, via the Cisco Jabber and the call manager, immediately a group of crew members receive a non-stop vibrating and sound alarm on their phone with what is the incident and where it is located. We also have developed with Cisco and a company called Polestar, that is a Cisco partner, the CO2 mustering. So in the ship you have areas where in case of fire we can deploy CO2. But to do that, we need to ensure that no crew member is inside. Until now, it was a manual process. With a card, we know that someone is there. Let's wait for him to come out. In this moment, and with Cisco Spaces and BLE tags, we can locate them, even the square meter where they are on those engine areas. We have a dashboard, and we can see. We sound the alarm, they came out, we don't see anyone on the areas, we can deploy the CO2. The same BLE tag also has an alarm with a button that if they need help, they can click and an alarm sounds on our dashboard. We are developing more systems with Cisco and improving the location-based services to increase the security. Another example that we have now, the AED devices, in case someone needs the defibrillator. was removed from the wall, someone would call the medical department, and that was the process. In this moment, if that AED device is removed from the wall, is immediately located, and an alarm goes to the medical department, say, hey, this one was removed from the wall, is going to this area of the ship, so they can react faster and to the correct location where the device is being used.
I mean, so almost everything on the ship has some kind of sensor, so everything you touch is moved, which also kind of, we have done cruises, and a lot of people who go, they always complain about, you know, the cost of that is high. They also talk about, but they don't appreciate, because think about it, you have built a kind of IT infrastructure in the middle of nowhere with no connectivity, which is, I expect most people do. I would love for you if you can just talk a bit about the challenges that and how you still maintain that, so people who don't appreciate start appreciating that. So next time when you go to cruise, they don't, because we don't realize it, right?
There are very big teams behind working 24/7 to ensure a proactive monitoring of every single device. And when we talk about every single device, we are talking about 64,000 access points, 15,000 access switches, and all of that needs to work. So they can call their families, they can see the pictures that were taken during the day, they can change a channel and see their favorite program. They go to the theater and the stage needs to come up and down, the lights need to work, all the effects, and all of this is connected with the infrastructure. The teams are very big, working, as I said, 24/7. We have external partners also monitoring and supporting us. But yes, it's a challenge. Maintaining the ships when they are so far away, it's different from a company that you go inside the data center, you talk with every single user. There we don't have it. We have a guest that complains that the internet is not working, and the time that takes from him to go to the reception and say, hey, I need help. And if the reception cannot help immediately, the guest went to the restaurant, to the spa. We cannot locate that guest again. So we need to try to reverse engineering the incident to understand or try to find out what that guest was experiencing and see how we can improve or solve the incident. We have a lot of satisfaction forms for the guests. We analyze them to check where can we be better. And the open roaming is one of the examples. Was very hard on the turnover day. So when all the guests that finish the cruise go out and the new 5,000 come inside, there were lines and lines on the reception and other locations where we put a crew to help, just for them to connect to the network. And now with open roaming, they are immediately connected. It's already very, very good for them. And they notice these small things and these improvements, but they don't understand what is behind and all the work. Technology investment, the risk that sometimes we take to go with a new technology and make it work and help Cisco to develop it further. But in the end, it's very satisfactory for us to see our guests using the technology and that they are having unforgettable moments during the holidays.
And I think AIDA was the first one to deploy open roaming as well, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, so it was a joint venture with Cisco and the Wireless Broadband Alliance. They gave us a huge support to implement and roll out open roaming. It's fully working in every ship. We had now a new function with the Wireless Broadband Alliance. We give to our guests 4.5 million free access points around the world that they also connect via open roaming, some train stations, shopping malls, airports. And that made a huge difference on how our guests start their holidays. Because if you start your holidays, you are, 15, 20 minutes for check-in. And then you need to be more 20, 30 minutes to connect to the internet. You start already your holidays not on the correct way. So our goal is that the guest will get to the terminal while he's doing the check-in. He's already connected to the internet. He can start booking a restaurant, a spa package, an excursion, and he doesn't have to worry about anything else. He goes out of the ship, goes in a short excursion, goes to see a city, comes back, he's connected again. And when he goes to a new ship, a new cruise in a different ship, it will be already connected also.
Yeah. And how much of the maintenance team is on board on a ship versus land-based?
So on ship side, we have 3 classes of ships. The smallest one, Sphinx class, that we have 7 ships. We have 2 ITs, IT officer and IT admin, there to make the level 1 support. Then on the Hyperion class, we have 1 IT officer, 1 IT admin, and 2 IT technicians. We have 2 ships of those. And the biggest ones, the XL class, we have 5 ITs, 1 IT officer, 2 IT admins, and 2 IT technicians. They do the level 1. Then on shore side, I have a team of 25 engineers between network and server. And we are supported by a partner on the 24/7 for level 2 and level 3. Then we have architecture team that together with Cisco designs the new implementations. Every time the ship goes to a dry dock, what type of technology we'll use, which upgrade path we'll take. But it's not a very big team for the number of ships we have. But it's a team that works like a family, with very specific technology knowledge. We have dedicated persons for Wi-Fi and security, for routing and switching, for Windows, for Linux, for virtualization. So it's a very technical team that in the end supports all of this.
Before we wrap this up, AIDA is also been looked at as kind of a model for maritime IT infrastructure. But technologies are changing. AI is coming in now. Satellite internet, with Starlink, that is getting better. What kind of, if you look at the next generation or evolution from your perspective of IT, where customers can even get more access to more IT technology, what would be that?
I think in the next years, and what we are focused on, at least under infrastructure, is to use AI for proactive monitoring. So AI can say, hey, you are going to have a problem here, so please act before this becomes an outage. So we want to use AI for proactive monitoring and maintenance. And I think the goal will be leveraging the location-based services with the CCTV of the ship and putting AI on top, where it can help us identify which restaurant is free, how is the theater, if it's too full. If I go out of my cabin, I'm a first timer on a cruise, I want to have my breakfast, I see 4 restaurants, 2 are red, 1 is yellow and 1 is green. Oh, this one is the one I want to go because it's green, I will have a place to sit. I don't know where it is, but I click and I have a wayfinding on the ship. The same, if I want to go to one of the pool decks, I can see in which area are more free sunbeds. I think that will be the future. We are making some POCs on that, but nothing to deploy yet. So it's still on AIDA Cube side to see where we are going to leverage more AI. Cisco presented us, and we are using the Cisco IQ, and now today the Canvas AI with the Meraki, because we have some Meraki cameras on the ships. And I think is what I'm going to take from this Cisco Live, is those two to work on that with Cisco and try to deploy new things for our guests.
Excellent. I think now I have most of what I wanted to understand. Anything else that you feel like, because this is off-camera question, that's something this is critical for the work that we do here, and I would like to talk about, or you feel that we have talked about?
I think we talk about almost everything. There is one thing I want to highlight, that is the Cisco CX services. What we did in the last 3 years and a half, that we completely changed the network and server infrastructure of AIDA, and all these new tools we put inside were not possible without the CX services. So they were a fundamental part on our surveys, design, and even on the dry dock implementations. They were there with us every step of the way.
Diogo, thank you so much for joining me and share not only your journey, but the journey that people take with AIDA Cruise. Thanks for all those great insights, and I would love to chat with you folks again. Thank you.